What if we told you that most urban legends are not just figments of our collective imagination, but are anchored in terrifying truth? Behind every whispered tale and every story told, there lies a kernel of reality, a fragment of truth that most people never discover. In this video, we're diving deep into the shadows to uncover the real stories behind the myths. We're pulling back the curtain on the unnerving truths that inspired the legends, revealing the facts that are often more frightening than the fiction. Are you ready to uncover what lies beneath the surface of the stories you thought you knew? And if that's a yes, then let's get started. Urban legend number 1. Imagine checking into a hotel, thinking you found the perfect spot for a vacation, a honeymoon, or perhaps a magical trip to Disneyland. But then, a horrendous smell begins to seep into your blissful sleep. This nightmare scenario is not just a plot from a horror movie. It's a real urban legend that has turned out to be true more times than anyone would like to admit. The story goes that some hotel guests, after being troubled by a foul odor, discover a dead body hidden under their bed or inside their mattress. Far from dying of natural causes, these hidden corpses turn the hotel room into a macabre crime scene. This gruesome tale has been confirmed across various instances, with newspaper reports recounting over a dozen such horrifying discoveries. Hotel rooms, intended as places of rest and safety, have been used as dumping grounds for bodies. In one particularly chilling case from Atlantic City in 1999, a couple unknowingly slept on a mattress concealing a corpse. Similar cases have surfaced in Colorado, Florida, and Virginia, among others. One of the most disturbing incidents occurred in 2010 at a budget lodge in Memphis, where guests were horrified to discover they had been sleeping above the body of Sunny Millbrook, a woman who had been missing. In an attempt to mask the smell, fabric softener had been stuffed into the ceiling tiles. Shockingly, at least 3 other guests had rented the room since Millbrook's disappearance before the grim discovery was made. Millbrook's boyfriend, Lakeith Moody, was eventually convicted for the crime. Urban legend number 2. The legend of the Bunny Man is a chilling tale that haunted the residents of Virginia in the 1970s. According to the legend, an escaped mental patient turned into a sinister figure who would gut bunnies and hang them from an underpass bridge. As the story evolved, it was said he began to target teenagers in a similar gruesome fashion. This bridge soon earned the macabre nickname, Bunny Man Bridge, with locals warning against visiting it on Halloween night. The roots of this urban legend trace back to real incidents that added fuel to the fire of local lore. In October 1970, a bizarre encounter set the community on edge. A couple reported a menacing sight: a man dressed in a white suit with bunny ears. This bunny man angrily proclaimed they were trespassing on private property and, in a terrifying display, hurled a hatchet at their car, shattering the windshield. The story took another dark turn 2 weeks later, when a security guard claimed to have seen a man, again with a hatchet, this time hacking at a porch railing. Despite police efforts, the hatchet-wielding figure in rabbit ears remained elusive. While the real Bunny Man didn't commit the macabre acts found in the legend, the very idea of an adult menacingly donning rabbit ears and wielding a hatchet strikes a deeply unsettling chord. Urban legend number 3. Next up in our journey into the dark truth behind urban legends is the chilling tale of the Chupacabra. This creepy story started in Puerto Rico in 1995 and has scared people all over North America since then. Chupacabra means goat sucker in Spanish, and people say it's a monster that drinks the blood of goats and other small animals. The first time someone reported seeing a chupacabra was in March 1995. 8 sheep were found dead with no blood left in them, and there were 3 small holes in their chests. Not long after, around 150 farm animals were found dead in the same scary way. This legend got bigger, and soon, people from Latin America to the southern US, and even as far north as Maine, were saying they'd seen the chupacabra. But then, in the 2000s, many people had witnessed the chupacabra from a distance. But every person saw a different version. Some people described it looking more like a scary hairless dog that walked on 4 legs. According to others, chupacabra had no hair, looked very thin, and its skin seemed burnt. Even though every person's account of the chupacabra's look changed, it didn't make the stories any less frightening. The tale of the chupacabra keeps going strong, making us wonder about the creepy creatures that might be lurking out there. Urban legend number 4. Next, let's talk about a spooky legend from Greece about something called the Bleeding Stone. This story is all about a curse that hit the city of Thessaloniki after a special stone was destroyed. Long ago, the people of Thessaloniki put up the Bleeding Stone to remember thousands of people who were killed there by a powerful leader, the Byzantine Emperor Theodosius. Legend has it that this stone would bleed every year on the day those people were killed. But the emperor didn't like being reminded of this dark event, so he ordered the stone to be destroyed. After that, people say a curse fell on the area, which is now called Hippodrome Square. It seemed like every building put up there, especially if the people inside didn't pay respect to what happened, would end up getting wrecked in some way, according to stories from the locals. This curse kept doing its thing until 1978, when a big earthquake made a building fall down, and sadly, 29 people died. After this, they built a new building called the Billy Building on that spot. This building holds the Thessaloniki archives, which have a lot of info about the massacre. People believe that by acknowledging what happened, this building has finally broken the curse. Urban legend number 5. The story of Candyman. Both the original 1992 horror film and its 2021 reimagining draws from a chilling tale penned by Clive Barker. This haunting narrative revolves around the vengeful spirit of a black artist, portrayed by Tony Todd, who was brutally murdered in the 1890s due to his relationship with a white woman. While the myth suggests that repeating his name in front of a mirror can summon him, a detail that has thrilled and terrified audiences, it's the grounding of part of this legend in a stark reality that truly sends shivers down the spine. The most unsettling aspect of the Candyman legend, the idea that a killer could emerge through a medicine cabinet, finds its roots in a real-life horror story that unfolded in Chicago. In 1987, the Chicago Reader shared the harrowing account of Ruth McCoy, a resident of a Chicago housing project. McCoy made a desperate call to 911, claiming she was under attack within her own apartment. Tragically, by the time help arrived, she was found deceased from gunshot wounds. The investigation unveiled a shocking breach of security. Her attackers had infiltrated her apartment by breaking through the wall of the adjacent unit and entering through her medicine cabinet. This architectural design, originally intended to facilitate plumbing repairs by allowing easy access to pipes behind the cabinets, had inadvertently become a pathway for criminal activity. Burglars and ultimately McCoy's murderers exploited this vulnerability to carry out their nefarious deeds. This grim reality that inspired part of the Candyman legend underscores the fine line between urban myths and the tangible dangers lurking in the shadows of our everyday lives. It serves as a stark reminder that sometimes the most terrifying stories are those that are rooted in truth, blending the boundaries between fiction and reality, and leaving us to question the safety of the spaces we consider most secure. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Stay curious, and remember, the next time you hear a legend, there just might be a grain of truth hidden within.